Is you today?
Good. All right, guys. So we're here with Movie Talks and Chill back again. We are here with, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, sir?
Hi, I'm Kevin Jack. I play John Dillabo in Cuisine de l'Apocalypse. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we got the pleasure to, we reached out by the Daniel with the PR firm.
Uh-huh.
He connected you with us, and we got a chance to see the screener of the film. We
Okay.
really enjoyed it. We thought it
Absolutely
was a
loved
lot
it.
of fun.
Yes. Yeah.
It was great.
So,
Crazy, crazy good.
Yes, I love all the use of the one-liners, particularly because I'm a big quoter myself. So
Uh-huh.
I loved all the Terminator references.
Oh yeah. So Kyle puts so much of that. Yeah, he loves that element of Terminator and the whole bit. That the Andy character is amazing. He's Miguel did such an amazing job in this film. So good. That voice, that's just like the and that's his voice. I mean, that's really how he talks.
Really? Oh,
Yeah. I mean,
we
it's
were
he can do
actually
anything.
we
He's
were
a
actually
voice actor, so
discussing
he can
kind
do
of sound like Diedrich Bader almost.
yeah. He is amazing. Amazing.
well, so why don't you, for the viewers out there, why don't you give us a quick little rundown of the synopsis of the film? Tell everybody what Cuisine de l'Apocalypse is all about.
Yeah, we are, I believe, about 10 years into the apocalypse. And New Missoula is this community that has kind of formed together. I play the chef that kind of brings everybody together. And this sort of takes place. We have like zombies kind of roaming around. There's a backstory where my sister-in-law, Laura, played by Zuzu Weingart, was married to my brother, and he's a zombie now. Like he unfortunately turned, so he's out there, and so we're nocturnal. So everything that we do has got to be, or they can only come out at night. So we got the day, but during the night we gotta be watchful. And telling you, all of a sudden the zombies start attacking, and then John is on a quest to have his own show, which I just don't get any support in my local community. But I know of a place where I can get it, and some shenanigans occur, and and some adventures happen, and we end up going to meet Sweet Melissa, who is like my hero, sort of like a Julia Child, that kind of in that vein. Like I have been watching her and admiring her my entire life, and so we ended going through all these different little lands. We have a lava land, and then we get to California. There he is.
Am I late?
We just started. Don't worry about it,
All
Kyle.
No,
right.
you arrive
Yeah.
I don't know.
expressly when you need to.
Okay. Get my
And
coffee.
yeah, and that's where we meet up with some robots, and then now we got ourselves a full blown battle because Sweet Melissa does have some plans for John and his crew, and that's where the adventure takes place. It's a story that has had so many little incarnations, and we started this years ago when I met Kyle, and where it has gone and where it is now, it's amazing. His brain is I'm quite envious of the creativity that goes on in there.
I did enjoy that at the very beginning of it. It was like, there were a lot of versions of the apocalypse, and everyone was right.
Yes,
That was awesome.
everything we tell you in the first like 10 seconds, put away your critical pants, have fun. We got it all. I mean, it's a whole bit. Yeah, he's completely correct. Everything you thought is correct. It's all over the place, but that's what makes it so much fun.
So let me kind of go back now and ask, for you guys both, like the creation of the idea, like where did it come from? How long did it take to kind of get this thing going? And, what was some of the process to get it going?
I'll answer that one. I so actually Lando, the character who plays Lando, played by Neela Butler,
Mhm.
he me and him kind of actually started workshopping this idea based on, hey, we just got to make something. And then it kind of started snowballing. We brought in Kevin Jack, who was immediately just like, all right, this is the guy. and we made two different iterations before we made the feature. And every time we did an iteration, we just added something. And then the first time, the first version of it, it was only Kevin and Chef John and Lando in the film. And then the second iteration, we're like, there needs to be a whole village. And that's when we came up with the concept that it's every apocalypse. And then we're like, what if it's like Gilligan's Island a little bit? And then we made the feature and brought in the robots.
Yeah, I like that it has, at least for me, I know the guys probably agree with me. When the style of the way you guys did this movie has so many different aspects that we really enjoyed. So you guys transitioned into, I like when you're doing the traveling scenes and it's
Oh,
like in a video game.
The
Yeah, you get
pixel art.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
8-bit.
art.
I liked it.
One of the scenes that caught me that I really enjoyed. I mean, I liked it all. But it's that scene where John's character, he's sitting there cooking and he's got the headphones in and he's listening to that music, and there's that music montage scene where they're
Oh yeah, and
beating
then the
hell out of-
pastor behind him is just laying waste to the zombies.
Yes.
and John's just sitting there doing his thing cooking.
Doing his thing, completely oblivious to it.
Yeah.
That is my favorite scene in the film, because when we did it, like literally my back was to all of that. So, and that song "Kiss Me Deadly" is so great. And when we had our first premiere, like my mouth was on the floor. I could not believe how well done that was, how well edited that was, how just the choreography, the whole bit is so good. That was a blast. That was a lot of fun, and I'm so glad that you guys love that. Like that was
Oh,
one
yeah.
of your favorites, because we just had a little showing a couple of days ago here in LA, and I just talked with a couple of people. I work at a steakhouse, so some regulars that came in, some people that were there, and they talk about that scene. It's amazing how everyone really goes to that scene, because it really
Yeah.
kind of encapsulates everything. Walls is so great, played by Douglas, and that scene is, I know every time I see it, I marvel. I really do. It is something.
It's definitely one of my favorite scenes, but I will have to say my favorite scene is when Andy is talking to Sweet Melissa and he goes, "Yes, mommy," and she's like, "Yeah, I hear it now."
That's that. Yeah, that's
Let's get rid of that.
Parental software.
Yeah, uninstall.
Uninstall.
Yeah.
But I will say too, it's like just a question for you, because we talked about the different, or I mentioned the different styles and stuff. So from a producing standpoint, like where was the thought process on that? Like, hey, we're shooting this way, but let's incorporate the pixelated, doing like the video game transitions. You've got the robots, which are very well done in there. There's
Yeah.
just so many different styles to it. So where was the mind process behind, hey, let's do it this way? Was it just kind of a, trial and error, or did you kind of have something preset for that?
So we were lucky enough to have our executive producers, Michael and Kiyomi Burks, who just kind of gave me free reign. They're like, yeah, man, there's too much influence from, people in Hollywood that there's always people up top that are like, maybe do it this way. He's like, I want you just to do whatever you want to do. And so like the video game graphics were in the script. And I think we did cut one at the end of the day when we're like, this transitions from, well, the haunted forest into the gas station. There was going to be one there. But it kind of transitioned well, and we were like, we don't need one there. But yeah, and then as far as the CGI goes, there was a lot more than I had originally planned when we filmed it. But we had our VFX supervisor on set with us most of the time. And he was just like, I can just put a robot wherever you need one. And then that kind of was like, oh, really? I got a few rewrites to do then. And then we added a few more robots. Yeah.
So when you were filming, what's a maybe like a story that you have, like all right, you're shooting and like we were thinking it was going to go this way, but actually, something happened, or maybe, just the day changed. Because we get that all the time, when people are making movies, like they see it one way, but then something happens on that day and it just completely changes it and makes, that vision much better.
I got an answer, Kevin, if you have one too. The one that always gets me, um, I like to call it a happy accident. So where they're in that barn and then the meteors start coming down. That was actually supposed to be an elementary school and they were in a cafeteria. Um, and I always liked that idea because this movie was made for people born in the 90s, kind of like, so I was
Yeah.
like, oh, let's go back to school, you know. But then we couldn't get the location locked down. And at the location where we were filming all the haunted forest stuff, they had this old barn. And then I was just kind of thinking, it kind of reminds me of the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when they go to the farm, you know, and they're there.
Yep.
And so we just kind of leaned into that, and I ended up just falling in love with it. And that's the moment, the first moment in the movie where Chef John reveals his heart, you know, and that he really truly cares for these people. And it's kind of an emotional scene, the one after it as well. And yeah, I was so happy that we couldn't shoot in a school because the barn, I thought, made a lot more sense.
That's awesome.
I like it.
Yeah, that was so good. I remember that. That was so great. For me, it's one word, gentlemen. It's spatulas.
Yes.
I was driving to work and Kyle called me and he goes, "All right, Kevin, John is, and we already kind of knew what we were doing with John." He goes, "So I want you to spin spatulas." And so I'm going, oh, okay, yeah, cool, totally. Sounded great. Went down to a restaurant supply place and got several sizes, thinking, okay, I could probably figure this out. And I mean, this was several months before. Guys, I tried. I mean, I was in the back service room with friends. I could not spin these things. It was and I'm terrified. And I remember getting there and didn't know where the continuity was in terms of shooting. I think it was the first day. Kyle comes up to me, he goes, "We're gonna do a scene where you're spinning those spatulas." I go, "Kyle, oh no." He goes, "Yeah, no, it's your show. John, it's your show. Let's go." And it was fun. It was kind of a tire fire. But in the scene in Lava Land, I had told Kyle, because we were going to have that, who, what, that whole scene with the spatulas. And I said, look, don't cut. I personally had felt like John is so good at everything. He could cook anything at the drop of a hat. He can bring people together. I know that they sort of find him like a Gilligan, totally. But I always thought it'd be funny if there was always that one thing that maybe he couldn't do. And I thought the spatula thing would be kind of funny. So when you do see that first one fall, when we're in Lava Land, that did happen. Like it literally, I spun it and it just, veered, veered right. So I picked it up and I just said, don't cut. Let me keep doing it. Let me keep trying. And finally, I think I got 4 in a row. And I would do it, and I go 1 and then 2 and then 3. And then we were doing this whole thing. And if you're watching some parts of that scene, you just see these beads of sweat. This thing went on for, I think, at least 20 minutes. And everyone behind me, Nilo, Maquette, and Zusa were going, what in the world? Like, what are we stopping? Like, what's happening? And Kyle would not go. And even part of me is going, okay, like, I think we got it. I think we got it. I think we got it. And we finally finished it. And it came out perfect. Like, it was just one of those happy little accidents that I think it added an element. It added like a fun element to John, especially in that sort of situation where, they're being held hostage now that, and it's his food that's going to help save the day. It's still one of the things that we do talk about because I told him, do not cut. And I went up to go, Kyle, like, what happened? He goes, Kevin, you said don't cut. And I didn't cut, and I'm not going to do it. And I went, all right, okay, get it, fine. Actors, we're doing our thing. But that was a happy accident that really worked out.
I think that's also a beautiful scene too. While it does show, kind of give John that little bit of like the flaw that you get to see in him, it also still transitions right back. He's able to capture the crowd. He captures the whole gang. Is like, wait a minute, you're a cook. That's that. I thought that was a beautiful scene too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a
always good
lot
to
of
hear.
flack from the crew on that one because Kaylin, our director of photography, was on a shoulder rig and cameras are very heavy, and he was just like, "Dude," he's like, "That was a long take." I'm like, "I told Kevin I wasn't going to call cut," and he's like, "All right, well, tell me next time because I'll go to tripod."
You couldn't have told me about this 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You're fine. Yeah,
Shoulder workout.
yeah.
Well, the other thing I wanted to ask too, and this is because after seeing the whole film and seeing the ending, was there any thoughts to a potential sequel to this? Because it is kind of left open where it could be like
I was gonna say, wasn't there a hint of that in the studio where they're hinting? What was it? The arachna apocalypse?
Oh, Tarantula Ooh La La.
A tarantula.
Yes.
Ooh la la, yeah,
Yeah. We
Oh, Neil.
especially like even the original concept of every apocalypse, happens. I think just having that in itself leaves it open because we only explored how many apocalypses, 4 or 5, and through all like history and modern history and all that, there's so many different things to work with. But yeah, absolutely. Also, one thing to think of, they just turned off the TV. Sweet Melissa's still out there.
right,
They
yeah.
didn't kill her. And there was actually a line in the script where Lando says, you just shut that off, right? She's still there. But then for pacing reasons, we took that out. Because it was just that's where we're building up and celebrating. We didn't want anything there. But yeah, totally. We actually have always talked about doing it as a TV show, where we stay in New Missoula. It's kind of a mix between Gilligan's Island and Home Improvement, where there's a cooking show that kind of outlines the whole episode and whatever theme of the recipe, like for example, chili is better the second day.
Yeah.
Some things are better with time, and so he would start making his chili and then say that as he's making his chili, and then we have a whole episode within New Missoula about how things sometimes are better with time, and then it all wraps up with this cooking show at the end. But yeah, I don't know. Going on the road with the Hero Squad is a lot of fun too. So maybe a movie, maybe a show.
Well, either way, Netflix needs to get in touch with you because I
Yeah.
want to watch that.
Yes.
Yes.
and you incorporated another safety net too to do the sequel. If you've got time travel already,
Right. Yeah, that's already
put in
built
there,
in.
so you can do anything now. You can go anywhere, anytime.
Yeah,
That's the beauty. Yep.
yeah.
That's so. We talked. How long did production take on this? Because I mean, like I said, it's very well done. And I mean, the production value is there.
Oh.
So clearly, that's not a quick 1 week shoot type thing or anything like that. And with the CGI stuff, what was the time frame it took to make this film?
So it was a 4 week shoot. We had about a month of prep to build the town, and then the edit was about a year, maybe a year and a half. Kevin's probably thinking, dude, it was 2 years. But it took a while, but we were also, we didn't have a studio behind us. So every shot, every visual effects shot was me, the editor, and our VFX guy, all working other jobs, trying to survive and get this done. So it was it was a long haul for sure. But and then the score was a whole nother thing too that I really liked, but it also took a long time.
No, that fit really well with the
Yeah.
film.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
100%.
everything you guys chose for that really matched the scenes, I think, really well.
So what plans are there for getting the movie out there? Have you guys been going through film festivals here recently, or is there going to be has there already been a big launch for a premiere?
Yeah, so we did a premiere here in Missoula, Montana, which the town is New Missoula. It was an 800-person venue. We sold out the thing, and it was just a huge, awesome event. We did a small theater run around Montana, and those all went pretty well. But we just wanted to get it out there, so now it's
Mhm.
on Prime, it's on YouTube TV and Google Play. And there should be some more. We're starting to do foreign distribution. It's going to go to AFM here in, well, this month in November. And yeah, so that way we'll try to get it overseas. Apparently, movies with robots do very good in Asia. So yeah, that's why
Robots and
they're,
kaijus.
yeah, exactly. So, which is kaiju's for the sequel,
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I want to see that.
Yeah. The other question I have is kind of maybe a little offset for it, but so I'm a foodie. I love food and I love cooking. So clearly, the John character, he's describing what he's doing, how he's making it, what he's putting in it. Did you guys have like some kind of a chef professional kind of giving you advice on that, or do you guys have culinary experience, or how did that come about? I'd be interested to hear that.
No, we had a chef. No, yeah, we had a chef on set who made uh, the paella scene. He made the paella. He made the chef. We got the. I know there was some local places where we got the like the Chateaubriand and stuff like that. In my steakhouse, we do serve that, so we incorporated a lot of that. I know Kyle's got experience serving as well with chefs who know kind of what they're doing, and that's where we picked up some of the verbiage and that sort of thing. So we did have a chef. I wish I could take credit, especially in our favorite scene, that I'm the one chopping that up, but that was our chef who was doing all the cutting and sauteing and whatnot. My abilities are, I can make a great sandwich.
So you and I are on the same
Can make a
cooking.
mean scrambled egg. Let me tell you guys. I
Solid
do a few
PB&J
things
there.
right, but I know. I mean, personally, as we venture forth, no, I am going to work on that. I want that to be a part of it. I actually want to do that, be able to saute and flip things in a pan and be easy about it. Do the spatulas, and that's really a mission of mine as we go forward in this, because it's important for people to see Chef John in his element, doing what he really is so good at,
Mhm.
and that I think is really important. So I definitely our chef was he was amazing, so good, and his craft services were spot on, guys. Last night, like the final night, we had these Cuban sandwiches that I still think about. Like, and then this is what 1 o'clock in the morning we were done, and nothing looked better than a Cuban.
Those were so good. And they sat on the Blackstone the whole wrap party. And
Yeah.
like after like 3 hours, people were like, are those Cubans still there? And then so people were going and grabbing these like cold sandwiches and we all survived.
Yeah.
What's a
No, it
couple
was,
hours?
yeah, it was fine. But it was great because our chef's name was Abe, and he after every scene, like all the scenes with the food in it, like he made them authentically. There's a lot of the time, with food art, they just kind of make it to look good on screen. Abe did both. So when that scene would be wrapped and we were moving on, everybody'd be like, hold on a sec. And we'd all kind of come in and we cut everything up and everybody'd get a taster of it. And it was all
Ah,
just money, like every
Nice.
bite. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds like an amazing set to
Yeah.
be on.
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Outside of that mussels and shrimp dish,
Yeah.
I would. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to shellfish. I would
Gotcha.
die if I got near that.
Oh,
That
so
one
you were
actually, yeah, oh, sorry.
He enjoyed
That
that.
one actually sat out for a while. We didn't eat that one.
Yeah,
It,
he
that
made one. It was raining, and I remember him walking in, and Chef Abe, he's come over here, and I go over, and I just this big monster pot of paella, and I mean gorgeous. Um, but it rained that day, so we couldn't film. And so the next one was, yeah, a little bit different, but he was great. I know that I had to get we were I remember the scene with Sweet Melissa where I'm cutting the prime rib. Um, we did a lot of takes in on that particular scene, and that it was just funny how Chef John. I just kept cutting, slicing off the meat, and I think he pretty much figure out, oh, this is gonna take a few takes. So he was telling me, like, Kevin, to get real slow, get that knife in, get a nice slice cut. It does look a little rough on the film, but I think that makes it fun. But that was one of those on the spot experiences. I've never really cut anything like that big a slice of meat. So just those little nuances within filming where we just had to kind of alter it a little bit. But he was amazing. Like it's that red wine dripping sauce. So, yeah, right. He was fantastic. He
Uh,
was great.
so another scene I really enjoyed it and I just loved it because of the mass of it was the final fight scene with everyone coming together. It kind of I don't want to throw anybody off on this. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. It kind of felt like Jedi, where there's the fight on Endor and then there's the fight up in space, like all these armies colliding. What was kind of the inspiration? How fun was that shooting? That had to have been fun.
It was fun. It was stressful. But dude, Star Wars, man. I grew up on Star Wars. The prequels. I do like the original trilogy the best, but I was able to go to all the prequels as a kid with my brothers, and we would skip school to go to them. And just those big mass scale battles. Exactly, just kind of picking off each one and going around to each one, and everybody having something to do that ultimately culminates to like the final product in the end, and everybody learning something along the way, and everybody brought something too. Like Lando, he grabs his guitar and goes to help find Andy because that's his new weapon. That wasn't in the script, and he didn't have this song that he plays. Nilo Butler, the actor, he would come to me every one of his scenes. He would come to me right before we were filming. He's like, "All right," and he'd show me his sides, which is like the script that you get on the day,
Mhm.
and it was just covered in notes. And he'd always be pitching me so many things. And he's like, I think he needs his guitar for this. And I wrote a song that I'm going to play. And I'm like, all right, man, let's do it. And so anyways, just seeing everybody kind of come together and then, yeah. And then, especially I think the score again helped it feel really big. Like when Chef John is running through the woods and it's the score's just dun 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 dun, and then
Yeah,
yeah, it just was great. It was a blast.
I
To
kind of
not
like.
thank the extras enough too. The people that came out to help
Mhm.
volunteer and be a part of it was unbelievable. I had no idea,
Mhm.
and especially for that, we're in the town and just everything is chaotic. The dedication. I mean, we're doing this for about 10 hours. Like them just the running around and just the whole bit. And for them, some of them never been on like a set, so they didn't really quite realize how long just one scene can take.
Hmm.
And like the nacho cheese scene, like that, there are so many different elements. I know, Kyle, so good.
Cheesy in the best way.
Exactly. There's so many different elements, and we just could not thank them enough. They were such an integral part of that, and their enthusiasm helped us. Like they were so excited to do something that I think that never even crossed their mind, and to be part of this world, especially the ones who were dressing people up as zombies and things like that. It was unbelievable. So those days, he's right. They're stressful. You're trying to do it right, trying to get through it, but so much fun. Like it's just that was a community effort. That was an amazing thing for me because I'm here in LA, so getting up there to Montana, it just to see the excitement of those people just really that made me want to be better. Like wanted me to really go all out. Not that I wouldn't anyway, but just to add that little extra oomph, a little extra juice to a scene.
Mhm.
They were integral, especially in those scenes. They're great.
Oh, that's
Fantastic.
awesome.
So good.
Yeah. Speaking of other, cast members that were on set and everything, what was it like working with Kevin Sorbo, aka Hercules himself?
Yeah, that's a surreal. That was I haven't. My experience is fairly limited, so I knew of him. I knew of Natasha and Emilio a little bit. I knew of the show The Mayans, But Kevin Sorbo, that was sort of one of those moments uh, with me and Officer Joe that were sort of, and it's funny, people who have now seen it, I've got a guy at work who I did not realize he was a big fan of Hercules. And he just comes up to me every time. He's like, "What was it like? See with Kevin?" And yeah, those were great. He was fantastic. He was so helpful. Anything that we needed, he would give notes and ideas, and he was great. And Natasha, that was she's amazing, especially the scene where I'm tied up because really I had to be tied. I told him to just tie me up, and when we're cut, just keep me there. You can give me water or whatever, but there was just no time to actually undo because that was a monster rope. So we did that one for a while, and she was great. Like I thoroughly enjoyed working with her. She's so funny. She is so quick. And Emilio uh, gave me it was a great compliment, but it was real. It's when we come out and we're in the cage. I had not seen him yet that day. We were all kind of milling around and going through our stuff. So when we got on the set, I saw him for the first time. And I mean, you menacing, yeah. Like it was, there's no acting there. When he stood up and he's looking at me, I was just like, oh my, what in the heck is going on here? So we sort of locked eyes and we kept it on every take. And he came up to me and he goes, man, he goes, thank you for doing that. Like when you locked in with me, I locked in with you. And I go, no, you freaked me out. Like I saw you and just, he's got that look.
That commanding presence.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
are not messing with this guy. But the softest heart, like he was so supportive, really telling us to get on our social media and anything that, he could do. He was just an absolute sweetheart. I mean, these three they were great. It was a pleasure. But you're right. I mean, Hercules, yeah, we had a few scenes, but I cherish those. Those were amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was very Kevin was very Kevin Sorbo, not Kevin Jack. Kevin Jack too. But when Sorbo showed up and was like, "Man, I'm gone off the screen for a long time, and I come back. What happened?" And I just pitched him this ridiculous idea that is what happened, what I had thought of, but just like the movie in itself, it's pretty ridiculous, like lore of the movie. And he was just like, "Huh, right on, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. Let's do this." And yeah, he would give a great take every time. So he like the Hercules line, he that was not in the script. And because I didn't want to ask him,
Yeah.
And I also didn't know. I'm like, well, who owns the rights to that? But I guess it's Greek mythology, so nobody does.
Yeah, exactly.
It's out of copyright at this point.
So we give the first take and he does it as written, and then he's just like, can I play with that line a little bit? And I was like, oh, absolutely, whatever, we got what I need, let's play a little bit. And then I did not know he was going to say Hercules. And then when he said Hercules, I like grabbed my first AD Ryan next to me. I'm like, yes, we're like,
first off,
the
Bitey Bitey is now okay.
yeah. That was the one that was important. I was like, Bitey
yeah.
Bitey. The Bitey Bitey is very important. And then the funny thing with Natasha is when Kevin first sees her on screen, that was the first time he had met her whatsoever. We did not do a rehearsal on that. We were outside shooting that whole scene, and Natasha was in makeup, and Kevin was like, I don't want to meet her until then, because Kevin was a pretty big fan. And so like his look of like, oh my gosh, was so real, and it just played really well on screen. And then yeah, Emilio was he was a boss. He was intimidating, but he also like showed up and we kind of chatted about the role, and he's like, do you guys have like a helmet that I can wear? And we're like, yeah, man, we got a helmet. He's like, how about a sword? I feel like I want a sword. We're like, dude, we got swords. Like, let's go. And yeah, every one of them kind of brought a little something extra that they wanted to do to it, So, which was a lot of fun because it just, to me, showed that they kind of got the world and, wanted to have fun with it. So
Nice. Well, guys, I just wanted to say, we've had a great time meeting with you. We're going to be running out of time here just in a couple minutes.
We could have easily been on here for like 3 hours.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
We
But
go line by line from this movie.
if you guys ever want to come join us again and let us know how the progress is going with the film, we'd love to have you guys back on. Again, we
Absolutely.
love the film. We're going to be posting up on our social media about this episode. It'll be coming out this Wednesday. So we'll send an email to you guys. If you don't mind, we'll attach the trailer for the film in our post.
Totally.
But yeah, no, we really appreciate you guys joining. Great movie, a lot of fun. You guys did a great job putting it together. So thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for
Thank you
having
guys for having us. Yeah.
us. Yeah, this is great. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. And for our listeners out there, like I said, this episode will come out this Wednesday. Thank you again to Kevin and Kyle for Cuisine de l'Apocalypse. And we'll look out for the sequel or the TV show or the
Oh,
series.
yeah.
All right, guys. For Movie Talks and Chill, we're your hosts. I'm Tony Serrato.
I'm Gavin Butts.
Patrick Wall.
And to our special guest.
Kyle Weingart.
Kevin Jack.
All right, guys. Thank you. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Welcome back. No, that was a lot of fun talking with Kevin and Kyle.
Yeah.
Cuisine de l'Apocalypse.
Oh, it's such a good movie. And
Yeah.
it's always so great when we get a chance to get screeners for these movies and they're just genuinely, enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like sat down and watched and just had a good time. Like it reminded me like the time we got the screener for
Hanky Panky.
Thank you. Yep. The only thing I could think of was Harry, and that was the hat. I was like, that's not the name of the movie.
That's not what it is. But also, I liked how everything that was, also in the movie, like everything that they poured into it, it was kind of almost like pick your own adventure.
Yeah.
And they chose to go with, these several layers of the apocalypse, but I like also that they left it open to,
Yeah. Well, they said
we can go so much farther.
Well, yeah, Kyle's like, we only showed like 4 or 5, so
Yeah.
there's like 100 more we can have.
Yeah, that first opening scene, there's also a spaceship. They didn't talk about aliens yet.
Nope, not yet.
But like I said too, they got time travel in there
Yep.
now. They hinted at that, or they just opened up Pandora's box just enough.
Yeah.
So now they can do anything. They can go back in time.
Hey, he said maybe kaijus.
Yeah.
I know Patrick's salivating over there for
Oh,
kaijus.
100%. I love me a good kaiju movie. I will say, they said they had a month to make that like new Montezuma set. And I love when they're not Montezuma, but Missoula.
Missoula.
No, Montezuma.
It's the new Revenge.
Yes.
Wow.
New Missoula. But like when they're showing like all the set that they made, I thought it was really great because they're showing like we don't really have TV or internet, so there's actually just one little stand that says News 6, and it's just one lady talking to the crowd.
Yeah.
And she kind of gave me a vibe of Free Guy in there, like when Ryan Reynolds is watching the movie and he's like, on Suicide Beach, there will be marauders shooting and pillaging from 3 a.m. to 4. And then she's in there talking about, yes, so California will be getting its next batch of acid rain.
Gotta love acid rain.
Oh, man.
yeah.
Yes.
But no, I
It's the
really,
apocalypse.
when we get the screeners, you never know exactly what you're going to see. Fortunately, everything we've gotten has been good.
Thankfully,
absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely, yes.
This one, like I said, I really did enjoy it.
Oh, me
I
too.
was like, just so that people know that we're not just saying it when we're talking to the people.
I'm going to the bar, and everyone that I'm talking to, they're gonna get tired of me because I'm gonna be showing them the trailer.
I wish I had
Yeah.
the ability to like clip it out and put it on Instagram just so I could show more people these fantastic scenes that we got to watch.
Yeah.
But the only thing we could do is say, go watch it on Amazon
Yes.
right
Let
now.
the people pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're supporting them making their movies and making money.
No. We'll give them the first 2 minutes, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like any good drug dealer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first 2 is free, and
Then you gotta pay.
then you got to pay.
But again, going back to the one point I brought up, because as we all know how much I enjoy food and cooking,
Yes.
I do like the fact they brought up, yes, they actually did have
Yeah, I thought that was
Actual-
really
yeah.
cool.
cooks, I couldn't think of the word at the time, but basically like not creative interests or, but whatever they call it. I can't think of words
chef?
today. I'm sorry. It's morning time. Consultant. A
Consultant.
consultant. yeah.
The movie consultant.
But
bring in the stunt chef.
yeah. Well, it was good though, because like when in the parts of the movie, for those of you when you watch it on Amazon and and Google Play, and I think what else was there? YouTube TV.
YouTube TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you guys check this out, and please do, he talks about what he's making and the ingredients and different things, and that's what sparked me. I'm like, they might have had something, because he also said he worked in a restaurant, so I don't know if it came from him. But when he said he might want to learn how to do that, I didn't get a chance to say. I was like, yeah, because when you start touring for things, they may spring that on you, be like, why don't you make us something? Like bring out like a mini kitchen,
Right. Well, and I do. I don't know. I wouldn't call myself a big foodie. Like if I'm going out somewhere, I'm going to try something. They like, hey, would you like this now? But I also have that. I'm very Southern, and I also could definitely be like in line with the preacher of, look, I've been on this earth a long time. I like what I like. I'll tell you what. Usually things I don't like, I can't pronounce. that was a good line.
I like things I can pronounce.
That was a good line he delivered. And the things I like, I can usually pronounce.
I do like how they said that, like, after the shot was done, they all just ate the food. They're like, no, we're not moving on yet.
It's like, hold on.
Well, because even Kyle was saying, a lot of times they'll present food on a movie or a scene or something, but when they got into it, obviously this one had a lot to do with food, so it was important for that. That's why I wanted to ask that. But it also reminded me of that movie Chef that John Favreau did.
Oh, yes.
Because everything they did in there, he even did a series afterwards.
Yeah, I never watched it, but I did see it.
And he actually, all the people that were in that movie, like that he would go and visit or work with that were cooking, they were all actually real chefs, and those were his consultants. So when he did the chef show later on, he'd have those people back on. He'd be like, everything that he made in the movie, he was making.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was actually him, but he had people teaching him how to do it.
Oh, okay.
And so that's why I thought it's always nice to see. It's a completely sidestep from what the movie's really about, but it was nice to see that attention to detail on that. And then I'm saying, yes, that is actually what it was.
Yeah, because sometimes they won't actually be making real food. Like a lot of this, like when you see a McDonald's commercial, you see this giant, they use stuff that's not even edible.
Yeah.
Like they use bubbles on like top of coffee to make it look good, or something weird.
Yeah, I remember when Domino's like rebranded themselves back in the day.
Avoid the Noid.
But they were showing, like, some pizzas companies will show you commercials, and they're putting like screws into the pizza, so when you lift up that one piece, it's the only thing that moves.
Yep.
He's like, we're not doing that anymore. Look at our pizza; it does the same thing. I was like, you got nails in that bitch, don't you?
Nope.
Staples.
The whole slice falls apart.
Yeah.
Cheese falls down. Somebody burns their hand with the sauce.
Now that's the Domino's I know and appreciate.
Yeah. No, but it was really cool. I mean, again, I'm probably going to watch it again.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because there was a lot we were even talking about, the little bits that I was
It's-
like,
yeah.
wait, I might have missed that, or I didn't get the whole thing of that. But there is a lot going on in the movie.
Yeah, so I'm sure I know, like you, I'm going to do a rewatch, but if I'm focusing more on the background of what the extras and the other cast members are doing, there's probably going to be a few things like, oh shit, that's awesome.
And like we were talking about offline in between, our interview with Kevin and Kyle, and then coming back and doing this final bit. Kevin, he's got energy. His character is exactly like how he was when we were talking.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's what we were talking about that second we broke. Like I was like, he's got a lot of energy in the film. But like when we interviewed him, he's the same guy.
Yeah, he's just always on.
Yeah.
I love people like that.
And it's like when you see the scenes with him, especially, and I'm glad we connected on the fact that was his favorite scene too.
Yeah.
Is that because I don't know what it was about it. It's such a simple scene.
It was almost like it's like a pull from an 80s montage of like, like the Pretty Woman deal where she's trying on all the dresses, but instead, or more like
With zombies
Dirty
attacking
Dancing
in the background.
More like, or not Dirty Dancing. It was where she's dancing to Maniac.
Flashdance.
Flashdance.
Not striptease.
Yeah. It's a timeout.
Different movie.
Different movie, yeah. But it kind of like had that sense of like that high energy. But I love the comedic part of him just being completely oblivious.
Yeah.
Well, and
He's in his moment.
completely different type of movie, but it also reminded me, even though I wasn't as much of a fan of the Amazing Spider-Mans as opposed to
The one with
Spider-Man
Andrew
or the
Garfield?
MCU. Yeah, the Andrew Garfield ones. But there is that scene when at the first one when him and the lizard are fighting in the school, and he's like swinging, they're beating each other, and it's Stan Lee's in the library, and he's just got the headphones on.
Oh yeah.
And he's listening, and everything's going on in the background. They're fighting. That's kind of what that reminded me.
So
of.
it reminded me a little bit of was it X-Men First Class or the second one? Basically, when they introduced the new Quick Flash, and there's that kitchen big old fight scene. Quicksilver. Thank you. I'm confusing two comic
Don't
books.
bring DC into Marvel.
Hey, you know what? Marvel did it first, so if they could do it, I could do it. But no, when he puts on his headphones and he's just listening to that music and then just running around and kicking everyone's ass, I kind of got that vibe.
Yeah, I think it was it Sweet Dreams?
Yeah.
I think Sweet Dream, but it was either in that scene or the scene when they blew up the mansion. And he was going in and grabbing everybody and getting them out. But yeah, it's like dun 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 dun.
So I kind of got those vibes.
Yep.
The only thing you could hear, you didn't hear the shovel hitting the zombies or the zombies getting squished to death. The only thing you heard was that music, and I think that set the scene so well.
Oh yeah. And then I think I told you guys offline before we even started recording anything, was that it had kind of like a Shaun of the Dead kind of feel to it, that humor, because there's zombies out there, there's all sorts of things out there trying to kill them, but yet there's still that humor to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And people just trying to live their lives, and and just the fact that the character Kevin played John, the main character. Out of all this stuff going on, he just wants to do a cooking show.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's hoping to still be on TV.
That's his one thing of hope.
Yeah,
And it's awesome. It connects.
And Kyle said it canonically takes 10 years after the start of all the apocalypses.
Yeah.
So even 10 years later, he's like, I'm still going to be on TV. You just watch.
Yeah, so
And
it's
then
not like
he's
a
got-
Walking Dead where it's like the day or maybe a month or two after when Rick wakes up and things are still brand new.
Yeah. I love how his nieces that are his director of photography and producer / director, and that's a cut. And I was like, what are you doing with, is that your only tape? Are you just rewinding and then shooting over it?
Yeah. And the fact they're using old tape.
Yeah.
Old VHS.
Yeah, exactly. VHS.
But,
yeah,
you do
that's
what
something
you
that's
gotta
going to get lost on these zennials. What is that they're doing?
But overall, I think everything was well done. Again,
Oh,
the
100%.
energy, but also the score.
Yep.
Like I said, that I didn't get a chance, or we didn't get a chance to ask him, but wanted to find out what was the budget for that soundtrack for that thing, or the score for the movie.
Well, actually, I wanted to ask what was the budget for all that CGI they used for all the robots and stuff. That can't be cheap.
This was the whole thing was well. I mean, the zombies looked good, and I I even like the scene with Kevin Sorbo when he's they're fighting in the city, and it's just before Emilio comes in, and they're basically the zombies are getting their butts kicked by the robots, and two zombies are going limping off behind him. He's like, "Where are you going?" One of them's like, that's the only audible part you can hear.
But yeah, with the CGI thing though, to that point, because that's tough to pull off when you don't have the type of budget that Hollywood studio
like Marvel would put on.
Yeah, they didn't have they clearly didn't have a Jurassic Park kind of budget, but the budget for those CGIs must have been.
But it looked good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like you were watching one of those
sci-fi TV movies.
Like Warehouse 13 or something, where it
or that
clearly
Bruce
looks...
Campbell alien movie.
Yeah,
God, that was. I love Bruce Campbell, but that movie needs to burn in hell.
Now, that is actually something we should have asked him. Would they ever consider, or did they ever try to reach out? Bruce Campbell would be awesome in a sequel to this.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he probably demands way too much money.
Well, yeah, probably. I mean,
Dude, there is no CGI if you hire Bruce Campbell.
You have to go through Sam Raimi first.
Yeah, you have to fight him in Mortal Kombat.
but that would be great, though, if all of a sudden, I'm not talking as one of his other characters, but a brand new character.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just having Bruce Campbell, because he is the king of B movies.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think he would be great in that,
Oh, yeah.
like a sequel to this movie.
Yeah. It's good times.
You heard it here, folks.
Yes.
Bruce Campbell.
Maybe the kaiju comes in to fight off the demons.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Kyle and Kevin, if you're listening, we've got an idea for the sequel.
Small EP credit.
Well, that's what I was going to tell him. It was like, I don't want to tell them their business, but when we were talking about the sequel, I was going to be like, John's second course.
Yeah.
or the main entree or something.
The amuse bouche.
Hell, we'll fly out there and get in a box and do our show.
Yeah.
And come down to the local theater, kids. We'll be reenacting A New Hope. Or History of the World Part 1.
I'm a philosopher. You're a bullshit artist.
Yeah.
How
Did
long
you
have you been
bullshit
bullshitting?
today?
Yeah.
Did you bullshit yesterday?
Gotta love B. Arthur in that movie.
B. Arthur, man.
Oh, yes, B. Arthur.
But no, really, really good time talking to those guys. You know,
Oh,
and
fantastic.
Like I said, I mean, and you could tell they had a lot of fun making it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just by that, you know.
And I like how Kyle went into like the passion behind it. It was like, all right, originally it was gonna just be, you know, 2 characters, and then we went to the village and like all the adaptations
Yep.
that led up to the final product.
And I liked his reaction when he said, you know, we can put a robot really wherever you want.
Yeah.
Really? All right, well
In
I'll go
that case-
I'll go rewrite this a few times. So we got some more robots.
There's a
Could
scene
have
towards.
easily have talked to them for like 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I will say I think the graphic designer went a little too hard on the robots. Giggity. But no, there's a scene towards the end where the robot says, "Come with me if you want to live," and then the robot starts walking at the shot, and the only thing you see is its robot ass. It's like, damn, you toned that up. That's one fit robot. Like it does not skip leg day.
Hey, you know, Tim. No, what's his name? Schumacher. He did that with the bat suits and.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
They're not so great Batman. So
And
I
The one with
put
the bat
on
nipples.
it.
Yeah, you put
Yeah.
nipples on.
Yeah.
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Yeah. But no, we got a few minutes. But you know, just if you guys get a chance, seriously, check out Cuisine de l'Apocalypse. Again, they said it's on YouTube TV, on Amazon Prime,
and
Google.
Yep,
and
Google Play.
Google Play. So yeah, just check it out. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
It's a good time. And then you know you can let us know what you think, and we'll send the information back to Kyle and Kevin and say,
Yeah, first name basis now. We're
Yeah,
practically
yeah.
best friends.
Should read our email chain.
yeah,
We basically just say bro at this point.
yeah,
Dude and bro.
bro, man,
My guy.
hey, my guy. Just don't call him Buckaroo.
That's right. Yeah, we draw the line there.
Yeah, but no, definitely good time. Check it out, watch it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just fun times, and you know we'll be next week. Actually, we won't have an episode live next week, but we will have an episode. But it will be at the Animation Film Festival.
Yes.
So we'll have lots of footage for that coming up to you guys. So thank you again for Pencil Gator Studios and University of Tampa for inviting
big
us out to
thanks.
it. We look forward to letting you guys know all the details on that, and then the following week we'll have some episodes start launching from that. We'll see, depending on how much
Content.
content or interviews we get. We may have to do what we did at Sunscreen and do 2 a week. I'm not sure yet. We'll workshop that one as it goes.
We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
But Dana seemed pretty confident that we should have some good traffic flow through there. So,
Nice.
Absolutely.
but yeah, guys. So that's what we got coming up.
And then we get into the holiday season.
Yep, and then
where
we're-
you two have to watch special movies.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, we get to watch ours during the daylight.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what's worse.
Yeah, I might want to watch that at night.
Yeah.
With all the lights
With
off.
all the lights off.
Just Hallmark.
Scariest thing you've watched all year.
Oh no, my car's broke down in the one hotel where the prince, the Archduke of no country I've ever heard of before.
Yeah.
And
What
he's
he
here
said.
alone.
But like I said, my aunt and uncle are watching these things every day on the weekends, so I'll just get clip notes for them. What movie do you want?
Could you tell me about these three? I'll pick the one that sucks least.
Oh, they watch a lot of them because
Yeah.
they say, "Oh, do you remember?" He's talking to his wife. Do you remember this one? He's like, "Well, it's this, and he does this and this, and she has the kid, but the woman's dying, and she doesn't tell the kids that, and she ends up adopting the kids on Christmas." And I'm like, "Wow!" I'm writing this down. I'm like, "What's this one called?"
See, I can't do that. My mom, my stepdad, they watch all these crime dramas. So I'm positive one of them is going to off the other one within the next 5 years.
Happy holidays.
Yay!
Love you guys.
But that is all the time we have, guys. You know, like I said, we got the film festival coming up this week. You'll check out for this episode, talking Cuisine de l'Apocalypse. We'll send out the trailer with that with the post as well, and then we'll send you the post of what times we'll be at the Animation Film Festival. And then, as Patrick said, the holidays kick in, so all that to come. But until then, for Movie Talks and Chill, we are your hosts. I'm Tony Serrato.
I'm Gavin Butts.
I'm Patrick Wall.
All right, guys, take care.